Sometimes we have men, like you told, 66, 70 years old, the lady looking for lady 30, 25. And when I explain it's impossible, then they tell me about the dating websites, when all the ladies in 20s are ready to get married. And,
that's because these are the websites that charge people per play, per letter, per communication, right? So basically they're fantasy.
Yeah, but
websites.
many men don't understand this, and they try to prove me that they are very good men to get married, and all young ladies are interested in them, especially doctors and lawyers. So I just don't argue in these cases and tell them to use maybe these sites more and tell me what happens in 3 years, for example.
Experience.
Всем привет and welcome back to another episode of the Vodka Vodkast with me, Connor Klein. This is the Tsar Experience, and today I've invited on Elena from Prime Matchmaking, and we're going to have a discussion about what is a realistic age gap between a man and a woman here in Ukraine for dating and for marriage, because Elena has her own matchmaking agency, and she has a lot of experience with dealing with foreign men who come to Ukraine in order to look for a wife. And of course, as you see in my channel, I give a lot of advice about dating and meeting women when you're traveling. And obviously I have probably a bit of a different experience because I can spend a lot of time here in Ukraine to a lot of you guys out there who might become actually one of Lena's clients. So that's what we're going to discuss today. So Lena, welcome to
Hello.
the channel. And so you've been working here in Odessa matchmaking for how long exactly?
14 years overall in this field of international dating since my student times.
Okay, awesome.
And matchmaking several years.
So what's your, I'll tell you guys then afterwards what I think about what's a realistic age gap. So in general, women in Ukraine, would you say it's fair to say like guys who are older than them in general? Is that true? What do you think?
In some cases, older local ladies choose older men. Sometimes, of course, but usually for several years, 5, 7 years. So I would say the most realistic is not more than 15 years. But
15.
Still, we have many couples with big age gap, and still they can be successful. So this question, I think that it depends not only on our country, but more on the compatibility in a couple.
Okay,
but
so
of course, if we have clients who ask for 30 years difference or 25-year difference, it becomes more difficult to find such a lady for men, because in general our ladies, when they grow up, they don't dream about men with a big age difference. They just meet the right person and they can fall in love, but they don't dream about it.
Okay.
Like about prince.
But the prince can be any age.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So in general in Ukraine, what's a typical age? Do you think 5 to 7 years is typical amongst Ukrainians themselves? Is that fair to say? 5 to 7 years?
I think yes, but I didn't make any statistics about it. But what that I observe from routine life, from ordinary life, I think it's like this.
Okay. That's something I should probably go and check exactly what the median age for marriage is. Maybe there are some statistics on that. So amongst your clients, where is the highest point of success in terms of like the foreign man who comes here and uses your matchmaking service? Would you say that it's like no more than 10 years, that there's a high level of success? No more. If you mentioned 15 years, like how does it play out? Is it like you will find someone compatible for like all the guys who stick to 10 years, less than 10 years age gap, or less than 5 years age gap? How does it break down for you when you look at age in particular with success in finding a partner?
I think it depends on, again, more on the compatibility in the couple. We can't talk about only one factor like age. So I can't answer your question, put it this way.
But you said 15 years, so...
Yeah. It's just easier because ladies are more interested in a man who are closer to their age. You have a young man, for me it's good.
To give people an idea of when, like where is it realistic, right? Because you're saying it's all about compatibility. That I will tell a little bit in a minute about what I think, but in my experience. But if you say it's all about compatibility, then age is completely irrelevant. But you're saying at the same time, like after 15 years, it gets really difficult.
You know, it's one aspect that it can influence the success, but it's not 100% influencing the success.
Okay.
And you know, when men apply to us, of course, we have we work personally with him, and we have the opportunity to present him in the right way for the lady. If even he's older, and we can explain the lady his good traits and present in the right way, and it's becoming more easier for him to meet the right woman than just walking on the street, for example. But
so for you, it just becomes, once you get over like 15 years as an age gap, you think it becomes a lot harder for you to find a Ukrainian woman who's going to be interested in that. So then the pool becomes smaller.
It's not a lot, but more difficult, yes.
But you don't think it's actually a major issue? Like it's just one factor amongst many, and it's not an insurmountable issue if the age gap is bigger than 15 years?
Yeah, it's becoming more difficult, but still possible. But I personally think that, of course, okay, we can find a couple, but we don't know about the success for the future. And it's well known also from psychologists that when the couple have more compatibility in sense of values, cultural issues, background about the education of both partners, and also age, it becomes more easy for people to live longer in the couple.
Okay, more than actually the age difference between them. It's only there's a variance, but it's not a huge variance. The most important point is actually the other elements like values and interests and commonality with culture.
Yeah, because our aim is not just to make people marry. Yes, we want to create relationships, to help to create relationships when people can stay longer with each other. Because sometimes I saw such approaches from some of agencies that I know when they try to put clients very quickly to each other and trying to change their mind, meet, please, marry sooner. I don't do that. I want people to feel first of all the other person, and to understand how much time they can spend together, because I don't think marrying every 2 years is a good idea.
Well, it's a personal preference. You want to marry every 2 years, but in general, most people, they want to get married probably once and stay with the same person.
Yeah, we want this to happen. So.
Yeah, my experience. This is very interesting to me to hear that it's also makes it harder as the age gap grows, but it's not an insurmountable. It's not going to be an element that prevents you from finding a wife or a girlfriend here in Ukraine. I would say in my experience and the experience of my clients who come here, that the biggest factor is not age. I don't actually think age makes really any difference at all to my clients or to me or my friends when we come here. In terms of an age gap, it's more about actually being somewhat more youthful and taking care of yourself, and on top of course, the things you mentioned like values and commonality and cultural commonality, and finding someone that you have as a soulmate. I think if you are coming as someone who looks who's like say 60, grossly overweight, bald, then that's going to be definitely, age is going to be a factor, right? I mean, then I think what you're saying about over more than 15 years becomes very relevant, and I think it actually becomes almost unrealistic if you're going to look for a massive age gap if you don't look in good health in general, if you don't offer something in return for that. But if you are a guy who comes to Ukraine and then is, takes care of himself and has something to offer, is an interesting guy, has a good personality, then I don't think actually age makes really any difference at all. I think it's a very, very minor
But
factor.
talking about the long perspective, what do you think? Because if a man becomes 80, for example, a lady is only 50, it can be a problem after all.
Yeah, but isn't that part of something that you have to take into account if you're recommending to your clients like a reasonable age gap? I think that's something that's very relevant if you're looking for someone for a long-term partner or a spouse. Like you have to imagine, right, if I marry this person and today the age gap is 50 to 20, that means that at 80 they're going to be 50, so they're definitely going to...
why I discuss this topic, that sometimes we have men like you told 66, 70 years old, the lady looking for lady 30, 25. And when I explain it's impossible, then they tell me about the dating websites when all the ladies in 20s are ready to get married. And
that's because these are the websites that charge people per play, per letter, per communication, right? So basically they're fantasy.
Yeah, but
websites.
many men don't understand this, and they try to prove me that they are very good men to get married, and all young ladies are interested in them, especially doctors and lawyers. So I just don't argue in these cases and tell them to use maybe these sites more and tell me what happens in 3 years, for example.
Exactly. I think we all know what's going to happen. They're going to be scammed. That's something to be definitely very aware of. Okay, well, I think in general, we can say that age is a minor factor, but you still need to be realistic, especially if you're looking for a long-term partner in Ukraine. That you should imagine if there's a 30-year age gap, how will that look when you get older, for example? I think that's very, very pertinent advice. But compatibility is definitely a lot more important than age. Age is just a minor element after all.
I noticed that men from all the countries, they say, so I'm 50 or more, I'm still young inside, so I need a younger woman. And all men have the same text every day.
Yeah.
And even local Ukrainian men, they do the same.
But if you're young on the inside and young on the outside, then that's not an issue. I think there's a discrepancy between how you look young.
So you are still a man, and you share this opinion too. I noticed. Yes.
100%. I just do my best to look young on both sides, both inside and outside. Thank you, Lena. As I was saying, Lena runs Prime Matchmaking, yeah, and I've also, of course, this is why I invite her on the channel, because I want to help you guys who are looking for marriage. That's not something I can personally help you with because I don't run a dating site or a marriage site or anything like that, or matchmaking. But I want you guys who write to me so often to go to honest agencies and not get scammed, like we talked about these dating sites where you can write to a photo of a 20-year-old Instagram model, but they're basically going to charge you for that kind of communication. And I do have clients who contact me, and when I research it, they're inevitably being scammed. So I want you guys to really look for honest agencies, and one of the biggest red flags is whether they charge you for communication or not. So Lena runs a matchmaking service. She has a lot of experience, and she doesn't charge for that. She charges to find you a partner when you come here to Ukraine. So we've discussed it, and if you go to the link below in the description and you say you're a friend of Connor, when you sign up, you'll get a 10% discount on all the services that Lena is offering. So I encourage you, if that's something you're interested to do your research, go check out Lena's matchmaking service, Prime, and definitely do your homework, do your research, and please do your best not to be tempted into writing to photos of Instagram models and all this kind of shenanigans. They're not. How many 20-year-old Instagrammers do you think really need to go to a matchmaking site to find a partner? That would be none. So be a bit more realistic. And if you are, I wish you the best of luck in your searches. And if you're new to the channel, this is the Zara Experience. I'm Connor Klein, and I make a lot of videos helping you guys with traveling to Eastern Europe, the raw east of Europe, learning local languages, having a non-touristic experience, dating, love, everything that you need if you're going to come to this region. So if you're new here, please go squeeze that red subscribe button and become a subscriber. Whack the notification bell beside it so that you're notified whenever I'm uploading new content here. And if you have experience with traveling to Ukraine and dating in Ukraine, then definitely drop a comment below, because you'll be helping all of you other guys who are watching this video, and we're creating this great community of guys who are helping each other by sharing their experiences below in the comment section to the video. I will see all of your smiling, enthusiastic faces for Eastern Europe really soon in the next video. So from today, from Odessa, Ukraine, from Lena's office, it's do svidaniya, do pobachення. See you in the next one. Ciao.
Zara Experience.